Hi everybody, today we will be making some quesadillas. We'll be using some chicken and onions and red peppers as well. So what you'll need some cheese. I have the already shredded Colby Jack cheese. You can use whatever shredded cheese you have. And I have some flour tortilla shells. You'll also need some olive oil for the skillet. Vegetables are up to you. I like to use an onion, and I'll show you how to cut that, and a red bell pepper, I'll show you how to cut that. And we're actually going to be using a can of chicken today, so I'll show you how to season that up really well with some taco seasoning. And if you don't have any taco seasoning, but maybe you have some salsa, you could season it with some salsa as well, or instead. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to cut up the vegetables first so that we can cook them and saute them. So the red bell pepper, it had a sticker on it, but it had been rinsed off. Okay, so we're going to use about half of it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut half of it. And I'm going to cut this middle part out. You can just rip it off with your fingers if you want to. And I'm going to pull that out. Bell peppers are sweet. They are not hot. I know people get scared because it's called a pepper, but it is not hot at all, I promise. Okay, when you're cutting a bell pepper, you don't want to cut from this side because this side is really slippery. You want to cut from the inside out. And you always want to make sure your fingers are out of the way of the knife. You want to go point of the knife down first, and then you rock it back. You don't want to chop. I know you might have seen people chopping on TV. Do not do that. You're just going to take it nice and easy. And then I'm going to put them all together and cut them again. I like bite-sized pieces because when I bite into my quesadilla, I don't want to be pulling a long strand of bell pepper or onion or anything out. Okay, so my bell pepper is done. Oh, I'm going to do another little rough chop. Okay, so my bell pepper is done. And I'm going to go ahead and use my onion. And I'll probably only use about half of an onion for this as well. And cut the bottom off. And then, oh, you don't want any of that papery peel. I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half. And you can see that my hands are on top as I'm cutting, just so I keep it stable. You're going to peel that top layer off because you don't want that papery onion peel. Okay, so I'm going to have it like this. And again, you're going to rock with the tip of the knife down. And make sure you have a good grip of the onion before you start chopping away. And I'm going to line them back up. Okay, flip it back over. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put some oil in my skillet.
What are you making?
I'm making a quesadilla. So I'm going to put some oil in this skillet. And I'm going to get that going. And make sure everything is away from the burner. And I'm going to put it on a medium heat. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my vegetables in the skillet. Okay, and I'm just going to let that saute until the onions are translucent. We're going to go ahead and get our chicken prepared. So this is just chicken breast, and it's in water. So you're going to get your can opener, and you'll open it up. And this is just a garbage or scrap bowl. And be careful when you're using a can opener because I feel like with knives people realize they're sharp, but a lot of cuts in the kitchen are from cans. So where you have cut, it's a very sharp edge, and I'll point that out to you. But I want you to push the lid in and squeeze all the juice out. Okay. So this edge, especially where it's been cut, that is super sharp and can cut you. All of this edge can cut you as well. So just be very, very careful. Okay. We're gonna use this bowl to dump our chicken. Okay, and I'm gonna put some taco seasoning right in the bowl where the chicken is. If you don't have your taco seasoning, you can put some salsa in and that would be super tasty. Maybe a tablespoon. And just kind of stir that in. Okay, so that looks like it's got seasoning all around and there's no big chunks of chicken in there. I'm gonna give my veggies a little stir. Those will probably take about 5 minutes to saute. In my other skillet, this is where I'll be making the quesadillas. So I'm going to go ahead and put some olive oil in the skillet. And I'm going to go ahead and get a tortilla out. Tortilla shell. I'm going to do one quesadilla at a time, and I'm going to do a folded quesadilla. So now you'll add the sauteed vegetables to your chicken. Make sure you don't burn yourself and stir. I only used about 3/4 of the vegetables I sauteed. Then you'll need to add some shredded cheese to the chicken and vegetables and stir that. And then you'll add about a tablespoon more of the taco seasoning mixture and stir. You'll fill half of the tortilla shell with the mixture, fold the shell in half, and place in the oiled skillet. Okay, so it's been about a minute, maybe a minute and a half, and I'm just checking. It's a nice golden brown on that side, so I'm going to go ahead and flip it. And it'll go for about another minute on the other side. Okay, so we are looking good, and the other side looks finished as well, so I'm going to turn my burner off, and I'm going to bring this right on over. Move you over here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll leave the quesadilla here, but I am going to cut it up before I serve it. I'm going to serve it with some avocado slices, some sour cream, and some homemade pico. So I'm going to grab my knife. Avocados are kind of fun to cut, but just be careful when you cut them. There's a big pit in the middle, so you can't cut all the way through. So you just kind of run your knife all the way around the pit and just be very careful. Once you go all the way through, you're going to give it a turn. And you can see that the pit is in there. So here's the fun part, and be careful. This is the only time I think it's okay to whack a knife. You whack it, and you turn, and the pit comes right out. Okay, so your avocado, we're going to do this in slices. So just slice very gently because you don't want to slice through to your hand. You could do this another way as well that would be a little safer, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So you can take a spoon and you can scoop the avocado out. and then you flip it over, and you can cut it this way. That's going to be your safest option in cutting your avocado. Okay, so I've got my avocado slices. I'll put that right on the plate. I'm going to scoot this off to the side, and I'm going to bring the quesadilla back over. Okay, and I'm going to use the pizza cutter, and I'm going to cut little nice triangle slices. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and plate those. Okay, so I've got my quesadilla, and I've got my avocado slices, and I'm going to go ahead and scoop some sour cream. And I'll scoop some sour cream right here. And then I'm going to scoop some pico on. And here you go. You've got a nice plated quesadilla with some avocado slices, some sour cream, and some fresh pico. All right, thank you for cooking with me today. I hope you enjoy. See you later.